Here we go. We're going into Sunday rubber match. Tennessee baseball doing what Tennessee baseball does nowadays. Frank, House of Orange, thank you guys so much. I apologize for getting started late. Had some things to get taken care of. Kind of delayed everything going on here. But we'll go here a few minutes. We'll talk a little Tennessee baseball tonight as, it's one of those nights, again, where this team, we've seen the script at this point. Friday night or the opening night of the weekend normally takes care of itself. It's the next day is the one we have to look out for. And then today, 10-6, Tennessee loses. I mean, you look at it, left on base today, 6, not too bad. K's 11. There you go. I mean, we've got our cleanup guy with 3 strikeouts, our 6-hole guy 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. That's not getting it done, guys. It's not getting it done. We had Keelan, Fisher, Inslee all with a home run each today. Looking at RBIs, I mean, the top 3 accounted for 4 of them. Bargo did have an RBI. Curley had an RBI. Curley was 2 for 4 today. Bottom lineup, though, I mean, you had Chapman 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Marin, they moved him up to 7th today, 1 for 3. No strikeouts or anything. He was hit by a pitch as well. Peebles 0 for 4, and then Newstrom was the DH today, 1 for 4. He had a strikeout today as well. And then we look at the pitching. Phillips, 3 2/3, 5 earned runs. Arvidsson, 1 1/3, 2 hits, 2 earned runs. And then we had Breedlove, no innings pitched, a hit, an earned run. Loy, 1/3, 1 earned run. A.J. Russell went 3 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run. No, it wasn't earned. So the fact that he closed it out was a good thing. That was a good sign for this team today. But it also lines up with what I've said all weekend. I don't think he's starting on Sunday. He's not starting tomorrow. It's going to be Tegan Kuntz. That's where we're at. I've stuck to that. When others have said, well, he's good to go, I expect him to start on Sunday. Nope. I think they're figuring out what to do with him. He did a pretty good job today, Russell. He come in, maybe not so good out of the gate, but then he went from there. Let me hit some comments here. We gave up 10 to Vanderbilt. It is what it is. Looking at it again, I mean, Phillips, not his best outing today. He's now 3 4 on the season. It's just right now, after Friday night or that opening night of the weekend, we just don't have it. We just don't have it right now. And what I'm hoping happens tomorrow is we see signs of having it again, because that day too, I mean, I know LSU had happened. I don't know. I just feel like with this team this year, and it's just it's not jiving, but what was it? FanDuel.com put out their odds this year. They still got Tennessee at the 3rd lowest odds to win the College World Series, but we'll see, man. Agree with Dewey Decimal. These things are pretty predictable. Win game 1, fall apart on every aspect, 2 and 3. Let's hope, man, we get it in gear tomorrow. But I know that we're facing arguably Vanderbilt's hottest pitcher along the way. And I seen somebody say Bowker was similar to A.J. Causey. I see the comparison, but, Bowker not quite as low as Causey was. Doyle Friday, Sunday's toss-up, Saturday's hopeless. I mean, we've had some Saturdays, but it almost feels like that. It really does. And, Vanderbilt took advantage again today. The stolen bases you're getting on. And I don't have this is Little League-esque. This is literally Little League-esque. When I haven't coached in a couple years, and I haven't obviously coached at the college level. But man, some of the times, and I see this, and you pick up on it, and you just run it well. This is Little League-esque. Yet this keeps happening with this program. I don't know what you do here, and the fact that it just seems to me like we don't care enough about the stolen base. Maybe I'm wrong on this. Let me try to get caught up here as well. But, I mean, a lot of you talking about stolen base. I get it. I totally get it. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And, our bullpen is not getting the job done. Man, it's just, why can we not go to a slide step or something quick? I just don't get it. And but it happened. I mean, even when Arvidsson come in, they're still on bases. It's just, it's an approach. It's a strategy. It's a technique, whatever the hell you want to call it. Tennessee does not take it serious enough. I've heard it for a couple years that Frank Anderson does not put a lot of emphasis on runner stealing. It's not really been that big of an issue prior to now. This year, it's a major issue. And it's going to get us put out of either the regionals, the super regionals, or the College World Series. It's going to happen because hopefully this staff and their analytics that they love. Tony Vitello said it. We're all about analytics. We've got an analytics coordinator here. Well, I'll move forward on that one because if you've heard any of my baseball stuff, you know how I feel about that one. And I think analytics have a place. Don't get me wrong. They have a place. They're not the be-all, end-all, though. Sometimes it comes down to playing baseball. That's what it comes down to, playing baseball, executing, catching the ball, throwing the ball, hitting the ball. That's where it's at. Go back to Bull Durham. Any of you that have ever seen the movie Bull Durham, arguably the greatest baseball movie ever. When he goes into the shower, he throws the bats. He said it's a game. You throw the ball, you hit the ball, you catch the ball. We're now at this point in time, we're overthinking the game. And we're still at that point now. Now, something to keep in mind along the way, too, as we talk about this team. The good thing about this is with Tony Vitello, it's always going to be reload, not rebuild. So you reload, you're coming into play, you're doing your thing along the way. Yes, we were never going to replace the offense from last year. That was an offense. That offense was even better than 2022. It was one of the greatest in college baseball history, that offense last year. But where they're at this year, there's still a long way to go. My thought is if we run into non-SEC teams, we'll be fine. SEC teams know how to pitch this team. They just do. Let me see where we're at here. A lot of comments. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're about 50 here. I know part of that. We were almost triple that last night, but I went live immediately after. So again, I apologize for starting late tonight. It just happened, but pitch selections metrics been way off. I mean, a lot of this, you've got to put it where it is. It's coaching. Very similar to the 23 team. That's been my comparison. But if you look at them at this point, this team's in a lot better shape than 23. 23 at one point was 5-10. I mean, that's where we're at. 23 team. Man, this is pretty bold, and I don't know that I disagree. 23 was better. I mean, you look back at 23, the pitching, you had Andrew Lindsay, you had Chase Dolander, you had Drew Beam. That were your three guys. And then how many times did Chase Burns come in out of the bullpen after he got demoted and bailed him out? And it's, the crappy thing you see now. And good for him. I've not been on the Chase Burns hate wagon at any point on it. I get why he left. Chase Burns, it's looking like, is about to be considered the number one overall pitching prospect in all Major League Baseball. This coaching staff, they won a national championship without him. All right. I hate to keep going that route, but it is what it is. We look at it, though, with 23 and that offense. I mean, you had – I don't know that you had – I mean, you had – gosh, I keep repeating myself here. But Cal Stark, Burke, Moore, Maliahuna. I'm trying to think here along the way where we're at. You had Griffin Merritt. You had Jared Dickey, Inslee, Christian Scott. You had, I can't remember who the third baseman was. I don't know why that's escaping me right now. Zane Denton, that's who it was. To me, I mean, if you stack those lineups up, which one's better top to bottom? And I think there's some similarities. I think, though, high end, I think Keelan, Fisher, this year's version of Hunter Inslee are better. But, man, there's just a people that, kind of negate the comparison between 23 and 25. They're missing the point on it. We can sit here and look at records, but there really is a lot of similarities on this. I get it, man. Let me see if I can get caught up here. Really appreciate the compliment here. Drop FTWX basketball content. I mean, there's not much going on with basketball right now. I wish there was. I mean, there's still a spot. There is that, people are holding out hope on that fifth year. I hope it happens. I would love nothing more than for us to get Jordan Gainey back next season. But based on everything I've read, and I've had some people come in and say, well, the judge says it's going to be retroactive. It's not retroactive to, at this point, what she's saying is it's retroactive to the rosters. Like cross country, I saw an article where they could be cut from 37 to 18 roster spots. Volleyball could be cut down. That's what the judge is talking about. She's not talking about the actual recent graduates or the recent people who are out of eligibility, because what you're getting into on that, you think about it with basketball, how many people are still in the portal? Well, if you now all of a sudden make all these people who were just out of eligibility eligible again, you're creating an absolute mess. It's the COVID years all over again, but even worse because now these teams have been preparing for their roster for next season without these guys in mind. Maybe they save a spot for it like Tennessee has, but if they're, you lose 4 or 5 guys to graduation, it's just going to be a mess. It's just going to be a mess. So I don't expect that, but I appreciate that, Dry FTWX. Let's see what else we are. Got to do the small things better. Leaking too many runs with steals, defensive woes. I mean, we had it when, who was it? Was it Vargo left? Somebody come in. There was the hit out. I know he made the slide. It was a tough catch, but man, the amount of steals and stuff is just maddening. It really is. Vol, what's up, brother? Giving up on this team finally. I just don't see it happening. There's really not a lot to give you hope right now. I agree. I still have faith this team will turn it around. I really do. But, I don't think they have any identity either. And it seems like Inslee's the guy to lead. He's doing everything. Who's following? There's just not that this year. And that was something last year, but it was guys who'd been in the program multiple years. You look at it this year. How many guys in that lineup have been in multiple years? I mean, you got Vargo, Inslee, Chapman. Inslee's really been the only consistent in that lineup. I mean, Chapman and Vargo were in and out last year. And, again, tonight you look at the two of them combined for 7 strikeouts. That's just – it's a lot of throwing their hands up. It really is. I don't know, but what is the record for stolen bases on Tennessee team? I don't have a lot of blame on Cannon Peebles. I mean, obviously if the jumps are timed or what have you, it is one thing. This is totally on the pitching. And that's a really good question. I would imagine the record's getting set this year. A slide step. Yeah, I mean, we can't just go into basically a windup out of the stretch. And, I totally agree, Vols Titans. Totally agree. Josh Copley says, Frank Sally's depth. If and when Phillips gets drafted pro ball, force him to learn slide step. I don't know why we don't develop him now to help us win, prevent 8. I don't either. I don't get it. I totally don't get it. And I think it's a great point here along the way. It's like, it happens one weekend, great. Not great, but it happens one weekend. It is what it is. When it's a continuous problem, that's on coaching. Again, I've heard it for years that Frank Anderson does not care a whole lot about the base runners. But I felt like last year especially, Drew Beam threw over consistently. He had a real good pickoff move, and he was not the only one. This year, though, it's a nightmare. It's killing this team. And, I hate to say it. Frank Anderson, I've seen it said, is responsible for a lot of your defensive alignment, for your stolen bases, for your pitching. If this is where he's at in the game, it might be time, and I'm a Frank Anderson guy, but if this is where we're at, we might have some decision. We might have to have the talk this offseason. And I say that knowing this dude is really good. But his pitch calling, the stolen bases, the defensive alignments, if he has a lot to do with that, they have all lacked a lot to be desired this season. And maybe they've tried to work on it, but I just don't get it. Keep finding ways to lose games. We have been spoiled when we got used to our guys finding ways to win. Absolutely. What's up, Miles? Good to see you, man. Totally agree with that one. It seemed like numerous times over the last few years, this team would get down, and it's like, we're okay. We'll come back. I don't know how many of you guys have felt this way, but it's like when we get in a hole like tonight, I'm like, we're not coming back. And tomorrow's huge. Tomorrow's vital. I stick to what I've said all week. I think it's Coons starting tomorrow. Give the guy some leash. Let him go out there and pitch. This bullshit of pulling him after an inning or 2 innings or what have you has to stop. If you're giving Phillips leash, if you're giving Snead leash, Franklin, etc., give the freshman who is extremely talented leash. Let him do his thing. Let him work out of trouble on it. He's like anybody else. He might give up a hit. He might give up a home run, whatever. He's no different than any other pitcher that we've seen. Let him work. Let him cook. Let him do his thing tomorrow. That's who I really feel it will be. I'll be shocked if it's not him. Who's available tomorrow? Snead's available. Loy's not had a good weekend, though. He's just Loy's game to me is all sliders. That's where it's at. And if you throw enough sliders, then maybe you surprise him with a fastball or something. But the thing with it too is he's been hanging some of these sliders, so that's where we're at. Franklin, we're probably pretty much good tomorrow outside of Russell. Of course, Doyle and Phillips are not going to throw either. And based on the pitches today, excuse me, Arvidsson threw 22. He could, in all actuality, be good, but I think we could roll without him. Loy, there's Breedlove. These JUCO guys, man, I've just not been, can't sit here and say I've been that impressed with them. And maybe next year, a guy like Arvidsson with his stuff probably stands a good chance to get drafted this summer. The rest of them should be back, and maybe they take that jump to next year. We'll see where it's at. This team, though, tomorrow is vital. It's a must-win. All these guys tonight, you've got to go in that clubhouse. You've got to look in the mirror. What's it going to take to get that series tomorrow? Because if you lose this series again, I really feel confident in saying, now you could go on the road next week and beat Arkansas and be back in. I know like D1 baseball has this team the 9th overall seed. I have a hard time believing that right now. But, because they didn't play a good non-conference schedule, they have played a very tough SEC schedule, and they've not been very good in SEC play. So we'll see where it goes, man. I'm not giving up on this team. I still feel they've got a run in them. And something else to keep in mind, too. You get to the regionals, you're not going to play an SEC team. You get to the super regionals, you may not play an SEC team. There's a big difference in that. We saw it 2 years ago with the 2023 team. You went to the Clemson regional, you beat, was it Charlotte? I'm trying to think on the opening weekend. Then you had the heroics of Zane Denton that propelled them to extra. Denton prolonged it. Inslee had the hit that put them ahead, and then they took care of business the last day. Then they went down to Hattiesburg. They beat Southern Miss, lost game one, won the last 2. You could go a similar path this year, not facing an SEC team. Then once you get to Omaha, that's where you're probably going to see them again. You could see them again in super regionals. You're not going to in regionals. That's pretty much is what it is. But the bottom line is tomorrow, this team has got to have pride. They've got to want to take care of business. And we'll see where we're at. I feel it'll be Coons tomorrow. Give him a leash. Let him pitch. Let him cook like he did last weekend. He's got the talent. He's got the skill. He's no different than, his skill level and stuff. Let him work. That's where we're at tomorrow. And the offense has to show. What did Alabama do last weekend against Vanderbilt Sunday guy? You got to look at that, see where you could hit on it. And we'll wrap up on that one. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me when I started late, but I really appreciate that. I don't have much else to say. I'm at a loss for words. Thank you. Have a great evening. Last but not least, go Vols.